So I'm just feeling really guilty. I gotta make a confession. So as you guys know, I like CZs. I mean, I carry them. I've got multiple ones. I work on them. I love them. Love everything that they do with them, and it's hard to say. I've been cheating on him. Just recently, it just started, and it's just this one time. I'm carrying the Glock. So as you guys have probably figured out by now, I enjoy my CZs. Whether it be the polymer frame P-07 or the alloy frame P-01, I love CZs. They feel good in the hand, they're reliable, they shoot consistently, and I love the double action, single action up. But I have a confession to make. Both of these guns now sit before you empty because neither one is on my side. Why is that, you might ask? Because this is. That's right, I'm carrying a Glock. So what did it? What was the thing that drove me over to the dark side? Mind you, I'm not a Glock hater. I've just never preferred them over other firearms. I've always respected what Glocks were, a good, reliable weapon. But I've always been enticed for a little bit more flair, something a little bit different. But the last time I was at the range, I had to eat crow. Why is that? Because it's pretty simple. I outshot myself. That's right, using my Glock 19, I shot better than I did using my P-01. Now, more than likely, it's attributed to the double action, single action of the P-01 versus the striker fire trigger of the Glock, but that doesn't even matter. You know why? Because as a firearm owner and carrier, I have a responsibility to those around me to carry the firearm that I am the most proficient with, even if that does make me just another guy with a Glock. Now, that being said, I didn't end up getting just any Glock. I ended up with a Gen 3 RTF2. I kind of came upon this thing by pure happenstance. This is my first Glock, and I've been wanting a 19 for a really long time. To me, it's just one of those guns that every collection should include. So in my daily perusing of the classifieds, I ended up seeing this. It was for the right price, so I went ahead and picked it up. And I'm glad that I did. From what I can put together so far, mind you, I'm not a Glock head. The RTF2 was Glock's attempt to improve upon the questionable grip texturing of the Gen 3s. So the RTF2 is a Gen 3 with an upgraded texturing on the frame, giving you a lot more grip texturing, but Gen 3 internals. So in a way, it's kind of the best of both worlds between a Gen 3 and a Gen 4. Now that being said, Glock and their Glock perfection, it does leave a couple of different places where I'm going to do some modifications, because you know me, I can't leave crap alone. The things that I'm going to do are pretty simple. I'm going to put an extended slide stop on, an extended magazine release, which is especially bad in these Gen 3s, and I'm going to put a new trigger connector in here, because this stock trigger in this thing is right about 8 pounds, and I'd like it down closer to the 6 to 7 range. It came stock with metal night sights, so that should do me for a little while I figure out what I'm going to put on this thing. I still really like these TFX Pros that are on my P-01, but a buddy of mine has some eye dots that he'd like me to check out before I make my final decision. Keep an eye out for future videos for all of these upcoming modifications. I'll probably group them all together and then do small little split outs of each separate modification to show you guys exactly how they were done. So that's my confession, guys. Me, a CZ guy and one of the holdouts of Glocks, finally caves in. I bought a Glock, and not only do I own it, but I'm carrying it now. So that being said, do you guys have a gun in your collection that completely surprised you when you went out to shoot it? I know that I wasn't expecting this. I figured it would be a little bit of an improvement, but this thing was a marked improvement over my P-01. Now, could I probably match those two if I trained more with the P-01? More than likely, yes. But I'm a real person, in real life, with a real job. And I don't have time or a place to be able to go and train as much as I would need to be able to get the P-01's proficiency up to that of the Glock, when right out of the box, I can pick up the Glock and be more accurate. In addition to that, the more I train with the P-01, the more I could be training with the Glock and improve my accuracy even more. And again, I've got that responsibility to myself, to those around me, to my family and my loved ones, to carry the firearm that I can best do that job with. As unfortunate as that job might eventually be, if I ever do have to use one of these, it needs to be the one that I'm the best with. So throwing personal preference aside, throwing my pride aside, I take a step down from my CZs, and I'm going with the Glock. That's it for this time, guys. Remember, if you enjoyed the video or found it useful, go ahead and like and subscribe down below. Give me a comment down below on any Glock modifications that you think I should look into. And remember, until next time, do your research, get informed, and get to work.